What's up, guys? It's Michael Hunter. Just wanted to check in again because I have a presentation that I really want to give you guys about digital marketing, and it's going to be awesome. Check it out. All right, here's a big question. What does my audience look like? Well, let's take a look at the 5 W's. So, the 5 W's. What, where, who, why, when, and how. So, what are you selling? Where are you selling it? Who are you selling it to? Why are you selling it? When are you selling it? And how are you selling it? When going into business, it's very important to have good reasoning for what you're doing, and why, and how, and where, and whom, and when. So, for the purpose of this exercise, let's use a local company here in town as an example. They're located on the way out to the local tourist attraction, the Hocking Hills, which is about 5 minutes outside of town. So, what are they selling? Coffee? No, experiences. So when thinking about products, let's break this down from a high-level perspective and divide it into 2 categories, focusing on desire, things that locals would want to buy, and things that everyone wants to buy. To differentiate between the 2 products, check this out. So 1, I own an HVAC company called Hunter's Heating and Cooling, and provide good pricing and service to the people in my town and surrounding areas, local only. Or 2, I own a unique antique shop called Hunter's Treasures that people will travel great lengths to come visit, local and everybody. So where does the Hocking Hills Coffee Emporium fit? Definitely in the latter category. Why? Because in a tourist destination like Logan, Ohio, they have the ability to influence over 2 million people per year to come back and get coffee and a sandwich after enjoying a hike in the hills. The locals will visit the shop because it's close enough to town that it's not out of the way, but it's far enough out that it's a nice change in scenery than the local Speedway gas station. Most of all, people love coffee and want the experience of sitting in a quaint little cafe in the middle of Hocking Hills with their significant other or best friends. On top of everything else, they have a bed and breakfast that will attract out-of-towners to stay with them, and they will most likely be eating at that coffee shop during the stay. So let's look at the where. Where is the interest? Where are the customers or potential customers? Based on some quick research using SEMrush tool and Google Trends, you can see that the keyword phrase coffee shops has approximately 2.7 million searches per month in the United States. Coffee shops near me has 823,000 searches per month, and a few other related variations of that phrase between 60K and 40K searches per month. So what does this mean? It means that people like coffee. Lots of people like coffee. So let's take a look at the other variable, the Hocking Hills, which is a tourist destination that attracts 2 million people per year. Based on some quick and dirty research on Google Trends, you can see that most of the people expressing interest in the Hocking Hills each year are in Ohio, West Virginia, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. There are other states in the Midwest, down south, and on the West Coast that also have a high concentration of searches for Hocking Hills each year. So when are people interested? When are people searching for Hocking Hills Coffee Emporium and deciding to visit? Well, taking a look at the graph of the people searching for Hocking Hills between May 1st and September 1st, there's a significant amount of interest. From October to April, there's a significantly less interest, which makes sense if you think of the tourist season concept. So who is interested? Who should they be marketing to? Well, according to Statista, everyone. As you can see from the graph, the bars are quite even across the age board. So whether you're in the 18 to 24 range, or if you're in the 60 and up range, there's a little bit of a difference, but not much. Everybody seems to like coffee. So one thing to look at, however, is your affinity categories in Google Analytics. In Google Analytics, there's an affinity category for home and garden / home appliances / small appliances / coffee and espresso makers. It might even make sense to advertise to the folks at sports and fitness / outdoor recreational equipment / camping and hiking equipment, or autos and vehicles / vehicles in parens other / campers and RVs, right? Because there's a lot of campers that show up to Hocking Hills every year, so why not advertise to people that fall into that affinity category? So how are they selling this? By doing exactly what their mission statement says. Founded on the core principles of integrity, high quality, and value, they painstakingly converted a historic home into a charming, one-of-a-kind boutique hotel, glamping destination, complete with all the comforts of modern-day living while preserving the vintage charm of its peaceful, welcoming property. We proudly offer the best cup of coffee in the Hocking Hills. From fresh brewed to handcrafted espresso drinks, we strive to provide quality coffee. We have put a lot of thought into the sourcing of our coffees. Our coffees are fair trade, organic, shade-grown, and women-owned and produced. Purchasing a cup of coffee from the Hocking Hills Coffee Emporium goes far beyond a cup of coffee. It supports sustainable practices and pay equity in growing regions. Our local roaster also supports economic development and women's progress in Ohio's Appalachia. So how are they selling this? Well, to enjoy the experience, you have to be there. And it sounds awesome. So finally, the big why. Why does anyone go into business? Well, first, they probably want to make some money doing this, so they can check that box off right off the bat. Next, their mission statement outlines their love for equality. It supports sustainable practices and pay equity in growing regions. Our local roaster also supports economic development and women's progress in Ohio's Appalachia. Last, starting a business in a small town is a good nod towards the progress of the local economy and can only stimulate things in a positive way. So let's look at the roundup. Let's bring this all together, starting with the what. So, what are we selling? Experiences and memories. Where are we selling this? Let's start with Ohio, West Virginia, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. Once we are seeing a good response, we can expand our advertising efforts into the other states out west that we mentioned earlier. Be sure to fine-tune all of your campaigns and only advertise in these areas geographically. When? Like we discovered earlier, the time of year when people are searching for our tourist attraction is between the months of May and September. Use this time to capture the eye of each Googler and serve them up an ad reminding them to visit your coffee shop. Who? Everyone. But let's look at those Google affinity audiences to fine-tune this category as well. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, etc. all have in-market indicators. Try to find things in common like camping, coffee, etc. to match your ad up with somebody who might appreciate it. How? We're selling coffee locally, but making tourists pay for awesome memories. So keep that cozy feeling when coming up with advertising copy. And of course, why? Well, to bring in new business, of course.